My name is Tony Dollery. I'm the Director of Management Accounting at the University of Cape Town. We adopted IDU, we started the journey in 2019 for the purposes of transitioning both our budgeting and reporting systems from 2020 onwards. And it's been a game changer for us. It was the journey itself in implementation, well, exploration first and implementation, despite the fears that go along with attempting to change or put a culture, in a sense, with regards to budgeting and reporting into an environment such as a university, which is pretty complex and widespread. The process itself was seamless. The engagement with the consultants from IDU were superb, and the groundwork that was laid there really resulted in us entering into the implementation phase in 2020 absolutely seamless. And I don't recall, and we thought about it and we spoke about it over the last day or so, I actually don't recall any significant blips on that radar. So testimony to the product, we are sold on the product. We have been, I think, marketers for IDU in the further rollout of your product to other areas within the higher education sector. And we're very proud of it, and we're very proud of the association with IDU. Your own company culture is one that really fits very nicely with what it is that we'd like to continue with and achieve. And the availability and the product enhancements have been phenomenal, and we continually speak about we've only been with IDU for 5 years formally, but already the product enhancements that are there and the way in which that change is allowing us to adopt new thought processes and new ideas has really been fantastic. But Fatima really is the face of IDU for us. She's been the one in both the back end and the front end. So as our key administrator, and from a front end point of view, the trainer to our end users, our clients, most notably finance managers and certain other financial administrators, but also in terms of just promoting what the outputs are and how they can be used more broadly within the university with both the leadership, right from the top leadership, our executive structure, right down to what we call our leadership lekgotla, which is our next level down of deans and executive directors, and our CFO have been phenomenal.
So I'm Fatima Abrams, and my official job title is Finance Systems Specialist. I started in Central Finance in 2016, and before that I was in the faculties itself. So I was in the management accounting team as assistant management accountants. I've been a finance officer, finance administrators. So my background comes from within the accounting field itself. So my role before this was to be part of the budgeting team, be part of the reporting team. So coming into Central Finance, that was my background. And then I became the trainer for the budgeting process and for the reporting process. So I am. So before IDU, what was involved in the budgeting process, we used SAP as our budgeting tool, the CO module, and we found it quite cumbersome. So before IDU, I've had about 3 years, I think, with managing the budgeting behind the scenes in SAP CO, and it was very cumbersome, to say the least. The process was very intensive. And we used to, now we work on 2 screens as a normal, but that time we worked on really 1 screen. And we used to have about 6 sessions of SAP open just to complete a budget. So 1 for inputting, 1 for checking what the input is. So it was all over the place. And since we started, and even before the budgeting process with the finance managers themselves started, it was me preparing the system. And the preparation thereof also was, we joke and we literally have a recipe for the budgeting process, right? And since we've implemented IDU, it's really almost just a click of a button with copying from one version to the next. There is not that long process to get to a point of when the system can be ready for the finance managers to use. So with the implementation of IDU, as Tony mentioned, the project management itself, getting us to the point of, okay, we're going to go live with our first budget cycle. The team was fantastic. I mean, we can't say enough about the professionalism and also just what we wanted. There will always be, okay, we're going to see how we're going to make this happen. There was never a point where we felt like, it doesn't look like they can do what we want. Always the energy that they brought and the management of the process itself to get us to where we needed to be, I think it was just fantastic. And then the ongoing maintenance after that, the relationship that we have with the consultants, with the team, it's really, really, really good. And I know we have quarterly meetings. I mean, I have no qualms just sending an email to the help desk. There is almost an instant response. So we've had no issues whatsoever with the client relationship after that as well. And also with the training academy, things like the training academy, things like the release notes, that all helps with the ongoing maintenance of the system. And as was mentioned yesterday, there's still a lot of functionality that we can still use and that we can make use of. We by no means use everything, but we use a lot of it. Then I also just want to speak about the adoption with our users. So we've got a decentralized approach to our budgeting and reporting process, whereas we are the administrators in central finance, and our finance managers and their teams of assistant finance managers, senior finance officers, and finance officers, together they input the budgeting on their side. So I think we've got about 100 users that is involved in the process itself. And on an annual basis, when the budgeting process starts, I normally do like a training exercise. But I find that when I do the training of IDU, it's not as intensive as it was before IDU. So users, I mean, I've always said this system is quite intuitive. So when there are new releases, I just have to mention it and the users will just automatically see, okay, so this is what they can do. So with the development of the budgeting process, there's normally a training session every year that I facilitate, and the user then just opened up into the system.
I suppose you'll, and sorry for interjecting, but I suppose you'll recognize that we could probably sit here for hours and talk about the benefits of IDU and what it's meant for us. But the real benefit has been the agility. The agility and the ability for us to respond and react quickly when we need to, both from a budgeting point of view as well as from a reporting point of view, and just getting access to that data and being able to use that data literally at a click of a button, whereas going through the process where we had previously in trying to export data out of the SAP environment, although we're still getting the same data, the same source data from that ERP system, there's just the agility of it and the user friendliness of that client interface. And I consider myself a client more than what I am an administrator. It was a game changer for us, and it continues to be a game changer. And we're continuously evolving